Hello student, Hemant sir is here. We are continuing with our chapter called Water, a Previous Resource. Here we have already completed the introduction part where we have understood about what is water, what are the major sources of water, like they may be artificial or the natural one. Then we have discussed about various sources of water that we can use around us, like fresh water and salt water. And now, in today's class, we are going to cover the scarcity of water. The scarcity of water is a very big challenge right in front of the world because whatever the water we are using every day in our daily routine life is much more than what actually we need. Due to the excess use of water, water scarcity is being the big problem nowadays. And it is going to be a very big problem for the future generation. That's why today we have to manage the water properly, whether it is the fresh water or the water which is available or can be harvested by the rain. That we have to use the proper management of water so that the scarcity of water can be reduced for today's generation as well as for the future generation. So let's discuss all the points about the scarcity of water one by one. And simultaneously, you can take the note of the whatever the content I'm going to share with you. Okay. So let's discuss what is scarcity of water basically. So the scarcity of water is nothing but the scarcity of water is defined as the situation where there is insufficient water is available to the satisfy the normal requirement of the living organism is called as beta the scarcity of water. What is scarcity of water? It is nothing but it is a situation where there is insufficient water available to satisfy the normal requirement is called as the scarcity of water. A lack of sufficient water or not having the access to safe water supplies is being a big challenge in many areas all over the world. What is the main causes of water scarcity that we have to discuss now? Okay, so let's discuss what are the main causes of scarcity of water. Okay, so the first point here we have the water shortage may be the cause of the climate change, such as altered weather pattern, including the drought or the flood, increase the population, and increase the human demand and the overuse of water. These are the main causes of scarcity of water nowadays. And these problems are going to affect the upcoming life, or we can say the future life or future generation, because the scarcity of water is going to be a very big challenge. That's why we have to manage the water properly. That's why the proper water management is necessary and it is the need for the present day. Water scarcity is being driven by the two converging phenomena. Okay, what are they? Growing the fresh water use and depletion to usable refresh resources or freshwater resources. We are using the water as actually we need, and we are using the more than water that actually we need. This is the big problem by which we are facing the scarcity of water nowadays. We are using the water from the surface of the earth, even underground water also. But still, we are unable to satisfy the normal requirement of the people for irrigation purpose, for the drinking water purpose, or the domestic uses of water. Some of the major causes of water scarcity are discussed below, and that we will discuss one by one. Okay, so first we are going to use the overuse of the water. We will going to understand that. But before going to switch on that, I want everyone had to take a screenshot for that, and you had to note it down on your notebook also. Okay, so take a screenshot first, everyone. Okay, now we are going to understand overuse of water, how it is going to cause the scarcity. Nowadays, the overuse of water is increasing day by day, and people are using an extra amount than actually they need. This is the main problem right in front of the world. They are using the overuse water. In certain cases, water is also overused by the people, animal, land, or any other number of the things. Sometimes it is also unnecessarily used for recreational activities without any care about the water loss, and which may affect that it may have no it may have on the world around them. They are knowing, they are unknown, or there may be know that there is a scarcity of water facing all over the world, but still most of the people they are using overuse of water. But this is the wrong thing. They have to be educated and they have to understand the importance of water, and maybe they are going to face the scarcity. That's why it is our responsibility to make the people aware about the major problem of the scarcity of water, so that they can reduce the overuse of water. Next problem is the increase in population. Oh no, second problem is the pollution of the water. So due to human activity, like every day, the garbage is being discarded out from the cities, and which is dumped outside the cities like in landfill areas, where that water contain that garbage get percolate inside the earth and causes underground water pollution. In rainy season, most of the time, that water when the rainfall water get absorbed by that garbage, okay, that water is again washed out from the garbage, and it contains a many contaminated substance, and which flows along with the streams and causes pollution to the streams also. Okay, so nowadays increase in water pollution is the major cause of the concern, as it is the major factor behind the scarcity of water. Due to the polluted water, that fresh water is getting polluted, the scarcity of water is being the big problem. Water get polluted from many pollutants like oil. Oil when releases into the water, chemicals, and fecal matter that is discarded by the people or the city or any industry, and which is thrown outside, as sometimes we are that throwing that waste water or the waste material in the river itself, which causes the river water pollution. We all need to focus on this issue so that we can stop the water from getting polluted, and it is the major need today's day. Nowadays, it is really very important to reduce the water pollution, and only human being can do that. If we will understand our responsibility in order to protect our environment, in order to reduce the water pollution, we can do that. We have ability. We are the human being dominated all over the world because we got the brain, the well-developed brain, as compared to all other organisms. So human beings are the only that can reduce the pollution of water. Okay. So now next point. Again, I want everyone to take a screenshot for all these 2 points. Now we'll understand the third point now. Take a screenshot. Okay. Now we are going to understand the third point, and which is nothing but the conflict. Sometimes conflict present between the land causes water scarcity, which can hinder the local infrastructure, which may causes the disruption of the water supply for the many people. This is again one of the concern for the scarcity of water. Fourth point, we have the drought. Drought is common in areas that are hot and dry, where like underground water is also going down and down day by day. as they are places where they do not receive enough rainfall, and that create the hindrance to the situation like sustainability of the life. Even they are not getting sufficient water of fresh water in order to drink. Some areas are permanently dry, whereas some areas suffer dryness occasionally. So drought is one of the major problem behind the scarcity of water in that particular area. Next problem is the global warming. It is one of the major cause of the scarcity of water. Due to increase the sudden temperature of the earth's surface is called as global warming. And it is due to the pollutants which are releasing into the air. They have capacity to hold and absorb the heat from the surrounding and causes sudden increase in temperature of the globe, which is nothing but the global warming. So this is one of the reason behind the scarcity of water. Again, I want everyone had to take a screenshot for that. Okay. Now we have the global warming is one of the major reasons behind the water scarcity. It is the condition where average air temperature becomes warmer. Water from the rivers and lake evaporate faster as compared to the normal temperature, which may lead to drying of the water bodies very fast. So one who depends on the water for their life from the river and the lakes, who will suffer the lot because the water scarcity. So we have to work over all these factors to stop the global warming by so that for which we can reduce the pollution of the air also. Now we will understand about the groundwater pollution. So unwanted use of fertilizer and other harmful substances like insecticide, pesticide, etc. can causes the underground water pollution, which ultimately leads to scarcity of water, because if water is being polluted under the ground, then that water is not going to be used by the human. So that can be the cause of the scarcity of water. We can reduce this by using the organic manure while doing agricultural activities. If we will use the organic manure, we will not use that insecticide and pesticides also, because insecticide and pesticide are nothing but the poison which may causes the underground water pollution, because it gets percolated along with the water and it causes the underground water pollution. Now we will discuss important questions related to the scarcity of water and their effects. So first question we have, what are the effects of water scarcity on animals? So when an animal such as spotted deer stray into the villages, they were being chased away and attacked by the stray dogs. On many occasions, what happens generally if there is no drinking water in the jungle or the forest area, so the deer which will travel or move toward the village in order to drink the water, so they may get attacked by the dogs or other animals also. Even human beings, they do attack sometimes. And there is the very big problem arises due to the scarcity of water. In order to drink water, most of the animals, they are moving from jungle to the villages, and they causes harmful effect to the human being if they are, or any other organism also, if they are carnivorous animals. Okay, so the wild animal, due to the scarcity of water, will travel toward the jungle or toward the villages from the jungle and may attack by the human being, or they can attack the human being and other animals too. So the helpless animal get killed sometimes. Some animals, while fleeing away to escape from the stray dog, fell into the dry wells and suffer serious injuries and face instant death also. How does water scarcity affect the plant and animals? We will discuss now. As you can see in the diagram, one part it is shown by the sufficient amount of water is present, and other side shows the feminine means the scarcity of water. These are the in two sides of one picture we can see the effect of scarcity of water. Plants grow through the process of photosynthesis to produce their food, and for that water is required. They require adequate amount of water, sunlight and carbon dioxide to do or to perform the photosynthesis process. But if there is a storage of water, if there is shortage of water is available around the plant, then the photosynthesis process will not complete because the lack of water. So the photosynthesis process will stop, and due to the lack of energy, the plant may die. Okay, the plant may slow down the process of photosynthesis or even stop it. And due to this, the internal body supply becomes reduced or diminished too. And the plant may die sometime. Okay, so this is the again major effect of the scarcity of water in plant. What are the scarcity of water? In those areas, like with they are facing the drinking water shortage also. So water scarcity limits access of the safe water for drinking and for practicing the basic hygiene at home, in schools, in healthcare facilities too. When there is no adequate amount of water present, then it is very difficult to maintain the hygiene in that particular areas. When water is scarce, sewage system can fail and threat to the contracting disease, or we can say the contagious disease like cholera surge. Then scare water also becomes more expensive. All these are nothing but the problem arises due to the scarcity of water. Now in diagram you can see here the people or the woman, they are moving to the very long distance to collect the water for drinking purpose. How does water scarcity impact on the environment? As the population of the world growing day by day, the environment becomes the further affected by the climate change also. Excess of fresh drinking water vendors and the impact of the water scarcity affected families and their communities too. And they may migrate from one place to other in order to face many problems related to the scarcity of water. Without clean and easily accessible water, they become located to the poverty, and they are locking in the poverty and generations, and for many generations. Due to the lack of water, the people they cannot grow the crop field even properly. That's why they are becoming poor again and again, day by day, year by year. They are the many reasons by which the scarcity of water is being affected. And the scarcity of water affects the human being, other animals and plant too. Okay, so all these are the major point by which we have to understand the importance of water, and so that the proper water management can be done. So we as present generation and the coming generation would not face the scarcity of water. So we have to promise with ourselves and our loved ones, so that we will reduce the excess use of water, we will manage the proper water, and we have to harvest the rainwater so that that water get percolate inside the earth surface, so that underground water level get increased. These are the few steps we can use in order to available sufficient fresh water for the human and for the use of other animal and plant too. Okay, so these are the really very important point that you have to go through it. So one by one you can take all the screenshot, note it down on your science notebook and learn properly. Okay, so student, here we have completed our part of the chapter called scarcity of water. Okay, so student, if you do like this video, do comment and watch this video for the better understanding again and again. Okay, so आज के लिए इतना ही, मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में, बाय बाय. And one more thing, if you have not subscribed the channel, do subscribe and watch the video till end so that you will understand all the points clear. Okay, so bye bye for now.